So we have to move the dates. And feasts are celebrated between April and September, and only between Friday and Sunday. So the feast of St. Joseph, you have the parish priest, the parish church here on the left-hand side, is celebrated in July. So this is a creek where we can berth up to 700 yachts. It's a yacht marina. There are other creeks in the harbor, in Marsamxett harbor. There are 3 more creeks, and in these creeks we can berth other yachts. There's the Milinerski, Valpieta Creek, Lazzaretto Creek.
I wonder what the name of that creek is where you end up without a paddle.
So on the left-hand side you have an area of embassies or residencies for ambassadors. There we have the Spanish embassy, the Portuguese, the Austrian, Dutch, there is the Greek embassy, the residence for the Italian ambassador, well, several of them. The Australian, you see? You don't see the flags in the evening because they are closed, but in some of them you do. And that is Valletta, what we see from here, starting from the Hotel Excelsior that way. That's Valletta. So this is Marsamxett Harbor. The Black Galley you see on the left-hand side was owned originally by Errol Flynn, the famous Australian actor Errol Flynn. That was used for the filming of Popeye, film by Robin Williams.
Popeye.
Like other films have been shot here, like
other famous vegan.
The last one I remember was Agora, Troy, and so many others. An old one, but I like this film very much, is Midnight Express. I'm sure maybe some of you remember it. It was filmed in one of the fortresses in Valletta. So you see, for example, here on the right-hand side, Labour Party. That's a club for a political club. We saw this in Birgo as well when we were there yesterday. You find the 2 clubs for the 2 political parties practically in all the towns or villages. This is a cemetery which was used by the British. We will see now a gate, 2 arches forming like an Arc de Triomphe, dating from 1702. And this arch was built, this gate was built under the grandmastership of a Spanish grandmaster from Valencia, Raimundo Perello. So on top you see the coat of arms with bears representing the coat of arms of this grandmaster from Valencia, whose name was Raimundo Perello. This town is not yet Valletta. This is Floriana, and Floriana takes its name from the architect, an Italian architect whose name was Pietro Paolo Floriani.
Nice.
Valletta
I've heard a lot about the Grandmasters, but I just don't know when they're going to talk about Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5.
That was Francesco Lapparelli. He was sent to Malta by the Pope to design Valletta, and it was a very, very plain plan for Valletta with streets crossing each other at right angles, like a grid. So it was a very modern plan for the times, 16th century. So this week we will celebrate Europe Day, Yom l'Europa. You saw this written in Valletta yesterday. Yom is also Arabic Day of Europe.
И у нас везде аудиторская команда и люди с лицензиями в каждом месте. Дело в том, что мы в Словакии еще не имеем очень полная фирма. Человек с лицензией, он только имеет, он есть на полувремени. Мы еще будем дополнивать прежде всего там.
То есть люди, например, из Чехии или из Польши не делают аудиты, и наоборот?
Нет, мы этого не можем делать. Это слишком разные языки. Из Чехии могут делать в Словакии в Чехии, но также не очень делают.
these were barracks on the
То
left-hand
есть
side, used
теоретически могут,
obviously
а
by the
практически
British.
не получается, по
Today
сути.
they are probably the
практически
most
слабо
hated buildings
получается.
in Malta. That's the Inland Revenue Department. So whenever you get a letter from there, huh? You will be doing like Mrs. Bouquet.
А вы
You're running
фактически
away.
как партнер на всех Audit Jobs
So
выступаете,
this
да?
is the Excelsior Hotel.
Я групп Head of
And very
Audit,
soon
но
we'll see
я только партнер на своих.
Marshamshed Harbour.
Я имею 8 клиентов, где я выступаю как подписывающий партнер.
А остальные местные партнеры подписывают?
Да.
Понял.
Я только подпись имею в Польше. Так что я организирую
This is
другие
it. This is
вещи.
Marshamshed Harbour. We have come all the
Прежде
way from
всего
there.
продаж.
Ага.
Very nice.
This is the Excelsior Hotel. The building on the left-hand side with the chimney that used to be our general hospital, but now we built a new one, and you see the new hospital, if you look at the same way, to the left, but further up on that hill with the light blue and pink, that's the new hospital now. The old hospital has been turned into a geriatric hospital. So the General Hospital was built very, very close to our university. So this is Lazzaretto Creek on the left-hand side, and that was the Lazzaretto, the hospital, the quarantine hospital, the building with arches. Built in 1643 under grandmastership of a French grandmaster, Jean-Paul Lascaris. In the fortress you see on the left-hand side is known as Manuel's Fortress. Manuel was a Portuguese grandmaster. I told you, those who were with me, that one of the Portuguese grandmasters, Manuel de Vilhena, built an opera house in Valletta, which is still standing. It's a gem of an opera house. He also built the fortress across the harbour on the left-hand side. In it, there is a chapel dedicated to San Antonio de Padova, Sant'Antonio de Padova, patron saint of the Grandmaster. So all this is being restored, you see, with all the splendor of the chapel. There we have the Valletta Yacht Club. Famous regatta is organized from that club.